A teen's life turns upside down when her boyfriend impregnates both her and a new student at school. Hope you having a blast. Welcome. Starts with a group of young people partying at their friend Connor's house because he is the richest of them all. Connor and his friend Lucas continue to drink so much at the party that they literally can't see what is in front of them. During this time, Connor receives a call from his girlfriend Amanda, who is a smart girl and values studying more than anyone else, which is why she didn't come to the party. She calls to check on Connor and then ends the call. Connor leaves his friends and heads to the garage to get more drinks. In the garage, Connor finds a girl waiting for him named Heather. We find out that she has just moved to the city and Connor doesn't even know her. This is the first time he has seen her. Heather takes advantage of Connor's drunken state and continues to flirt with him until they end up getting into a relationship. The party ends there. The next day, Connor goes to school and meets Amanda, who is really happy because he hasn't seen her in a while. While they are standing together, Heather comes and greets them. Connor quickly greets her so that Amanda doesn't suspect anything between them. Afterwards, they go to their class and continue their studies. Later, Connor is seen playing soccer with the school team, and Amanda and Lucas's girlfriend Maya are there. Amanda asks Maya to show her pictures from the party the night before. Maya shows her the pictures, and in one of them Heather is with Connor. This surprises Amanda, but she doesn't think much of it. After school, Amanda goes home, where she meets her mother and her sister, Kale. Kale is upset because she got married a while ago, and was finally pregnant, but unfortunately, she lost the baby, and Amanda comforts her. Meanwhile, Heather takes a pregnancy test and discovers that she is pregnant. She is now pregnant with a very wealthy man's child, so she takes a picture of the test and decides to post it online. Later, Amanda goes to study with Connor. At this moment, Lucas sends Connor pictures of Heather's pregnancy test and asks him if she is pregnant with him. Connor doesn't respond to the message, but he keeps wondering if Heather is really pregnant from him or not. The next day, Connor is certain when Heather comes to school and talks to him. She tells him that she is pregnant with him, and that he needs to do something about it. Connor is shocked that Heather is doing all this because she wants something from him. After school, Connor goes to Amanda, and she asks him if she thinks Heather is pregnant with him. Connor gets nervous and doesn't answer her and then leaves. Later, Amanda comes home, buys another pregnancy test, and decides to take it because she also suspects that she might be pregnant by Connor's child. The real problem comes when Amanda finds out online that Connor is the father of the child. She gets angry. Now we see Amanda at home, looking at pictures of Connor's car and seeing the price tag. She is happy because she finally thinks she will escape her poverty. Also, Heather's father is sitting at home, seemingly distant from his daughter, who is also estranged from him. The next day, Amanda goes to school and runs into Connor, and asks him how Heather could be pregnant with him. Connor tries to explain but doesn't get a chance, as Heather comes to talk to him, causing Amanda to leave angrily. Afterwards, Amanda sits with Maya and discovers that she is also pregnant, and begins to cry because she does not know what to do. That night, Connor comes to talk to Amanda, trying to convince her that what happened with Heather was an accident and out of his control. But Amanda does not believe him, and decides that their relationship is over. The next day, Amanda goes to school as usual and enters the classroom, where Connor sits next to her. He tries to talk to her, but she ignores him and leaves. After school ends, Heather talks to Connor and tells him that she needs money to go to the doctor, and Connor reluctantly agrees. Meanwhile, Amanda's mother finds her pregnancy test by accident. When Amanda returns home, she talks to her parents, and they discover that she is pregnant. Naturally, they scold her for getting pregnant at such a young age, but they also tell her that they will support her. At that moment, Amanda tells them that Connor is the father and that there is another girl who is also pregnant with his child. Her parents are shocked and immediately go to meet Connor and his parents. They discover that Amanda is pregnant with Connor's child and that there is another girl who is also pregnant with him, and they have to figure out what to do because they won't give up the baby. Of course, Connor's parents are stunned, and Connor's father accuses Amanda and Heather of plotting against Connor, which makes Amanda and her family very angry. They take each other and leave. Meanwhile, Heather continues to take pictures and post them online, writing that she is pregnant with Connor. Amanda sees all of this. Eventually, Amanda discovers that Heather did the same thing with another guy at her old school. Amanda, of course, is shocked. The next day, Amanda is at school and meets Connor. Before they can talk, Heather shows up and tries to take Connor away from Amanda, which really upsets Amanda. Heather exposes herself to everyone and confronts her angrily, which leaves Heather hurt. Connor has to take her to the hospital. There, Connor's mother arrives and talks to Heather, telling her that she doesn't trust her. Because of this, she will have her take a paternity test to find out if the baby is Connor's or someone else's. Heather reluctantly agrees, feeling upset, and leaves after talking to Connor's mother. Time passes, and Amanda goes to the hospital for a checkup, where she finds Connor there. He is happy to be with her. They go inside together, and find out that Amanda is having a girl, which makes them both very happy. Meanwhile, Heather keeps calling Connor, and Connor tells her that he is with Amanda, which drives Heather crazy. She gets even more upset and keeps telling Connor that she is sick. At that moment, she takes some painkillers to show him that she is sick. Connor then feels that he needs to leave Amanda and check on Heather. Heather takes this opportunity and takes Connor's phone. She sends a message to Amanda saying that Connor is with Heather, which upsets Amanda because she believes that Connor is the one who sent the message. Later, Heather starts showing Connor her future home, the home she plans to live in with their child when it arrives. However, the house is in very poor condition. Heather continues to ask Connor to fix him up with his parents, and Connor begins to realize that Heather is using him, but agrees to help. Connor then returns home, and his mother discovers that the paternity test results have come back, and it turns out that Heather is actually pregnant with his child. Connor is devastated as he realizes he is in a difficult situation, and tells his mother that they need to fix Heather's house. His mother reluctantly agrees, as she feels that Heather is just trying to take advantage of the money. The next day, Amanda goes to school, and sits with Connor, and asks him about the letter he sent her, and asks him why he was planning on spending time with Heather and not paying attention to her. Connor is surprised that he didn't send any letter. This is when Amanda realizes that Heather sent the letter. She gets angry, and starts arguing with her as usual, and then leaves angrily. Later, we see Connor's mother meeting with Heather's father. She tells him that she wants his daughter to stay away from her son completely, so she gives him a check for a lot of money to live off of and not come near Connor again. Heather's father agrees, takes the check, and leaves. Shortly after, Connor goes to Heather's house and finds out that her father ran off with the money he took, and Heather feels completely betrayed. Meanwhile, Connor is with Amanda, and he tells her that he loves her very much and that he will never stay with Heather. He tells her that Heather will just be a mother to his child, but he doesn't love her and never will. This makes Amanda very happy, and she feels that Connor is back to the way he was before. So Connor and Amanda go to Connor's house to spend some time together, but they are shocked to find Heather there with his mother. Heather then tells them what her father did to her, and Connor's mother tells them that they will have to keep Heather with them to take care of her. This makes Heather very happy, while Amanda is upset and leaves. Connor tries to convince her that nothing has changed, but Amanda doesn't believe him and realizes that their relationship is over. She leaves and walks away. That night, Heather joins Connor and his family for dinner. She keeps talking about all the things she needs that cost a lot of money, which annoys everyone. Connor stays calm and changes the subject, then tells his parents that he plans to live with Amanda and marry her soon. This makes Heather jealous, but she stays quiet. Later, Connor records a voice message for Amanda, telling her how much he loves her and asking her to come back. At that moment, Heather is caught eavesdropping on Connor, but his mother notices and gets really upset. Heather quietly goes to her room. The next day, Heather continues talking to Connor and asks him to spend the day with her, but Connor declines because he has a very important date with Amanda. He leaves and Heather gets really mad. She decides to follow him, so she heads to the garage and tries to take Connor's dad's car to track him down. At that moment, a guy named Torrent shows up. We learn that Torrent has been in a long-term relationship with Heather and knows all her secrets. He threatens to expose her to Connor and his family. He also learns that Heather is always looking for a rich man to get her pregnant with, so she can trap him and marry him. Torrent may not say anything about it, however, but Heather decides that she will not pay him or let him go. She grabs a key and hits him over the head with it. After that, she puts it in Connor's father's car and drives off. After a while, Heather arrives at her old house and enters with Torrent's husband. She locks him in the basement. Meanwhile, we see Amanda and Connor at a treatment center, learning how to deal with children. Heather arrives and sees them and gets angry. She waits for them to finish, then follows them. As Connor and Amanda walk, Amanda talks to Connor, suggesting that they give their next child to Amanda's sister and her husband to raise, since they can't have children. Connor says he'll think about it and respond later. Connor then says goodbye and leaves. At that moment, Heather shows up driving recklessly and tries to run Amanda over. Amanda manages to escape in time, fortunately unharmed. Heather then confronts Connor's mother, accusing her of stealing Connor's car and threatening to report her. Heather loses control and attacks Connor's mother, threatening to kill her if she tries to keep her away from Connor. After the confrontation, she leaves the house as if nothing happened. Connor arrives home a while later and learns from his mother what Heather did. He gets angry and confronts Heather. He tells her that she will never stay in that house again and that they have found her a new apartment to live in with her son. He also tells her that he will support the child financially, but that he will never be close to her because he hates her. He tells her that they will never get married. After the argument, Connor leaves. Heather is upset and angry but has no choice. She agrees to live in the small apartment, which is sad and horrible. She deserves it. Meanwhile, Connor and Amanda visit Amanda's sister and her husband and decide to give them their child to raise, since they can't have children. Amanda and Connor are young, and this decision shocks Amanda's sister and her husband. They thank Amanda and Connor for making this choice. Time passes, and we see Connor and Amanda at school, riding the bus with other students on a trip. Unfortunately, Heather is also on the bus, as she was on the same trip. Connor and Amanda ignore her, not saying a word to her. Later, Heather notices Amanda walking alone in a deserted area, so she begins following her. She stops Amanda, and Amanda tells her that she hates her because Heather has everything but still tries to steal Connor from her. Amanda explains that she loves Connor and never meant to hurt her, but Heather, being crazy, doesn't believe her. Heather grabs a knife and continues to chase Amanda, intending to kill her. Heather continues to chase Amanda for a while until she catches up to her and attacks her. However, Amanda is not harmed, and when she tries to run away, Heather stops her and reveals that she is in labor pains and is about to give birth. Despite everything that has happened, Amanda begins to help Heather and successfully delivers her baby. Connor then arrives, shocked to see the baby, and overwhelmed by the situation. A while later, we see Amanda at the hospital, where she gives birth to a beautiful baby girl. Both Amanda and Connor are overjoyed. Amanda's sister arrives and realizes that she is not taking the baby, as it is better for the baby to stay with her parents. Amanda and Connor decide to raise the baby together in love and happiness. As for Heather, she is now at the police station, under investigation because the police found Torrance's body in her house. They decide to put her in prison for 20 years, and honestly she deserves it. As for her son, the government will put him in an orphanage until his crazy mother is released from prison. And here ends the story. Hope you enjoyed it, and give it a like.